Hi everybody, it's Wayward Gypsy. I am trying a completely different setup today because my dog, sorry, my cat is yelling at me. That's my Siamese cat, Inara. She's probably gonna yell randomly throughout this whole thing. My dog Wesley was injured and he can't get comfortable in my office, and I have to keep my eye on him because he's got a donut of doom. It's an inflatable e-collar, and so since I can't keep my eye on him very well in my office, I decided to work out here in my living room. So this is my setup in the living room. This is a diamond painting that I actually have been working on for a while, that I got from Evermoment. She's an absolutely beautiful diamond painting, but it's very dark colors. There's actually not much in the way of 310, but there's a lot of 939 and 823 and various other dark blues. So I've got it on a light pad. Hopefully you guys can see okay. I am also going to be testing out some of the things that I got in my most recent Amazon haul, such as the LED pens. I actually have both of them here, and I misspoke in my unboxing, which I will also address in my original testing thing, but the purple one is not battery operated. It is also USB charged. You pull off the butt and there's the USB. So yay. Okay, but I figured I would get started with just working on this. It is a square. It is an Evermoment square, so the square quality is relatively good, but because it's so dark, there's a lot of trash because, well, dark drills always have a lot of trash. Anyway, I am going to get started. Let's see. I think I'm actually going to cut this section. Well, not cut it, but maybe do half of the section. This particular canvas I started before I started sectioning off the canvas with washi tape. So it's a little bit different. I've just got it has 2 strips of the glue on the canvas. And so I split each strip in half again. And so I just kind of take a section and work on that. And actually, I don't think I have any cover minders out here. Oh well, you guys don't mind, do you? This thing will just kind of flap a little bit. All right, so let's go ahead and start with 939 because it looks like the most prevalent symbol. Actually, I think I'm gonna go with the lighter tray. I got these great stacking drill trays on Amazon. They work really, really well. There's a bunch of different colors of them, and I love that because if you're working with a dark drill, you can put it in one of the lighter drill trays. If you're working with a lighter drill, you can put it in one of the darker drill trays. And it actually does a decent job to get squares or rounds in a good long line. I love that. So the lighter drill tray also helps me to see I'm having trouble braining today. It helps me to see whether or not the drill is trashy. So, and that's actually one thing that I like. Actually I do have more light than that. Hopefully that doesn't throw off everything. I do have better light in my craft room, but because my Wesley needs me out here, I do have kind of it's actually one of the LED rings around a magnifying lens lights out here, because I figure I don't need the magnifier now for most of the diamond painting I do, but at some point in the future I might. So I might as well, buy not just a ring light, actually buy a magnifying glass as well. I have gotten a lot of my diamond painting accessories off of Amazon because it's just easy. I try to buy from artisans for things like pens and stuff. The reason why I'm trying out this pen and the other is because, like I said in my haul video, I really want to show a variety of options at different price points. And since not everybody can afford the hand-turned artisan pens, you know, having other options that are easily accessible and achievable for just about anybody on any budget is nice, because nobody enjoys those little pink pens that come with the kits. They are functional, but not very pleasant to work with. So, okay. So there's the first thing. Here we go. That one had a knobbly bit. I actually need to go get my my cover minder that is a trash drill tray. There we go. So everybody crows, well, not everybody, but most people crow about how great Evermoment's square drills are. And I don't know if it's just me because I've had this kit for a little while or what, but I have not been super impressed with their square drills. It might just be because they're all dark colors in this kit, but it's kind of obnoxious. I will link this kit down in the description box below so that if you are interested, I don't know that they still have it. If they do, it will be linked down below. If not, then I will at least link to their store. Evermoment is an AliExpress store, and it is the only store on AliExpress that I have gotten diamond paintings from. Primarily, like this is the first one that I've gotten from them that is an image that I did not upload. I've done 2 customs with them, and no, I've done 1 custom with them. The other custom, I actually went with the custom from them because the other custom that I got, I was so unhappy with the quality that I decided to try out Evermoment. And the custom that I've gotten from them, I haven't started it yet because I have other WIPs I want to get through first. It's a picture of my dog, Wesley, who is the one I'm in the living room for today. He is a unique looking dog. Like all of my dogs are rescues, but like Mocha looks like your typical black lab and Leo looks like your typical yellow lab. Wesley is some sort of lab mix, and he's black and white, and he's just got a very unique look. And I have done diamond paintings that look like Mocha and Leo, but I couldn't find one that looked even remotely like Wesley. So I decided I'm just going to do a custom. And so that's the first one that I got from him. I went through a company on Amazon, and I'm not going to name names, but I was so disappointed in the rendering. Like it was a mostly green image, which is fine, but like he's a mostly black and white dog, and like all of the shadows and stuff, like everything was pink. It was so weird, pink and red and purple, and like I was not going for the rainbow look. I was going for like photorealistic look. So I went through Evermoment and got a different photo done, and actually it turned out really well. I like the way it's rendered, so I'm looking forward to doing it. That might be my next bigger project that I start that is not related to a diamond painting community event coming up. I intend to do a purple painting in May for the lupus awareness event that's going on. I know several people who have lupus, and I just feel it's important to help support them and kind of recognize what's going on. It's another one of those sort of invisible illnesses that affects people, but people don't always see it, and it's hard to live with. The invisible illnesses are always hard. Now, I'm single placing this canvas, not because I want to. Like, I can do my little 3-placer, but squares, for me, I'm kind of OCD about them. And I like them to be exactly on where they go, because I find that it's just so much easier to do that way. They line up well, they don't wind up wandering all over the place. That was one of the things that I learned with the section down here is multi-placing. I wound up having to push the diamonds around a ton, and I'm too lazy for that, guys. I'd rather just do it right the first time and not have to move things around. Like, I know you'd think that it'd be easier to multi-place and then go back and fix it, but in my opinion, it's just not. I don't have the patience. So aside from Wesley getting injured, what has been going on in my world? I did some resin work this last week. I cast a diamond painting tray actually based on these trays, and I've tested it out, and I really like the mold that I got. I had to do a custom mold, and I like the mold, but I did not do a good pour, so there were a lot of bubbles and stuff in the tray. And so I'm going to do another pour at some point this week and see if I can't get it a little less bubbly. Trying to get, so all of the resins that I have are fairly thick, and trying to get them to settle into these fine grooves, that the resin just doesn't want to settle into those grooves without bubbles. And I have to figure out how to do that, short of heating up the resin so that it flows more easily, but cures so much faster and smells so much stronger. I'm working in the same office space that I do my diamond painting and all that stuff. Everybody saw that video, I hope, of my craft room tour. And I have to put a fan in the window so that I don't gas out my poor dogs and wind up killing them with fumes, or my husband for that matter, because if I don't have the fan in the window, it comes right back into the living room. But I wear my mask, my ventilator, but I can't put little ventilators on my dog. So I like to have the room relatively well ventilated. But when you have to have the windows open, you have to aim for a nice day. Today would have been a good day to do it, but I slept in, and I'm not going to feel guilty about that. I was up until like 5 o'clock in the morning, so I slept most of the day away. It was really nice. And then I spent some time outside with the dogs this afternoon. With Wesley being injured, we have the donut of doom, but it's so not comfortable. He's not a small dog. He's a large dog compared to our other 2 dogs, though. He is small. He's only 55 pounds, whereas Leo is 80 and Mocha is 85. She shouldn't be 85. We're trying to get her to lose weight, but she's stubborn. But Wesley is only 55, so he's a little over half their size. And we try to have the same collar size. So the donut of doom is a little too big for him. And so Like you can put your own collar in it, and so we have his collar in it to hold it on him. But the donut's just a little too big, and so it's awkward for him to wear, and it's hard for him to get up on the chair or lay down comfortably. And so I try to give him enough time out of it during the day so that, you know, he can rest comfortably, because rest is important for healing, and so he can eat. And he has to wear it whenever we're sleeping, because we can't watch him when we're sleeping. But it means that I am limited in the scope of things that I can do, because I have to keep an eye on him. Right now, we were outside for a while, and so he ran around and did the butt monkey thing and laid in the sun. And of course, he's a mostly black dog, so the sun is very warm. So he came inside, and he's over there right now, sacked out on his side on the floor, on the nice, cool wood floor. So he's happy, and he's being quiet and calm. So I'm not gonna disrupt his chill right now. But yes, did resin, I did get my homely houseplants stitch along stuff ready, but I haven't started on it. I think that they're already on like plant number 3 or 4, but I haven't started on it. I've been so distractible, and it feels like part of that's just spring. You know, there's so much to get done between cleaning and getting the garden set up and getting things, you know, settled. And part of it, I think, is just I haven't had a whole lot of energy, and, you know, dealing with Wesley being injured and Michael being injured, and I'm just very distractible. I've been loving diamond painting for bringing a sense of calm to my days. Like, I finished that seahorse so fast, and I know it's because I'm sitting here with Wesley. And if I'm working in the living room, like normally I like to work on my big canvases on my desk in my office, because it's more stable. I don't have to put it away every time I get up. But working out here on the smaller canvases, like this one's not really, really small. It's not real big either. It's maybe 40 by 50. I try not to work on anything bigger than this out here, because my table's small. But so usually it's the smaller projects out here, so they get done a lot faster, and I work on the bigger ones in my office. Sorry, I heard crackling, and Nara has found an Amazon box in the middle of my living room floor and is laying on it. I am grateful she's not yelling at me. I don't know if you have ever been around a Siamese, but they are so talkative. And we joke that, you know, she's German, because the German language, you can be saying, I love you, and it sounds like, I want to kill you. That's kind of what a Siamese is like. She's always talking to us. Now she's talking to me again. She's always talking to us, but it sounds like she's screaming at you and giving orders. See? Nara, what are you doing? Yeah? Did you find a box? Did your daddy leave a box? My house is always full of noise, between the dogs barking and Inara yelling. Horace, my outdoor kitty, comes inside at night because the coyotes have been bad, and he's old, and he goes in the guest bathroom at night. He has a litter box, he has a bed, he has a little cat tree. He's got quite the setup in there. But he comes in, and he has always like talked to his toys while he plays, So he'll be in there batting his toys around, all of his little catnip toys. He'll be batting them around and like running around after them. And then he'll yell at them. And so it sounds like he's throwing a fit or he's upset or whatever, but really he's just playing. And that's right next to my craft room too. So it's been super noisy here lately. And with Michael injured, he doesn't go downstairs very often to his office space downstairs. And so he's up here in the living room listening to YouTube videos, or he just finished Stargate Atlantis, watching it all the way through again. He's one of those people that he can't work if there's not some sort of background noise. And so he's always got something going. Sometimes it's YouTube videos that are funny. Sometimes it's YouTube videos that are serious. Sometimes it's the news. Sometimes it's electronics stuff, because my husband is the quintessential computer geek. He likes both hardware and software. I mean, he's an electrical engineer who works in software because that's where the money has always been. So, but he loves tinkering around with electronics. And of course, on the YouTubes, there are people who do all the things. And so he has kind of found his own little community on YouTube that he loves to watch their videos. And he will be out here watching videos all day, which is kind of funny. Like, how am I supposed to watch videos all day? It seems like people are always going live, and there's just so many of you to keep up with. I love it, but there's so many creators to keep up with. I feel like I'm always watching videos and finding time. I don't know how you guys do it, finding time to both watch and make and edit and always be in everybody's lives. And I mean, hats off to you. I don't know how you get it all done. Trying to watch everybody's WIP chats, and yeah, I love it. Don't get me wrong, I love it, but trying to figure out how to balance it has been a challenge for me. I've kind of decided I'm going to record a little bit ahead of time with different videos and see if I can't get some sort of schedule going, because right now it's just sporadic. It's just whenever I find time to record a video or I have something interesting to share with you guys, I do it. I do want to do a resin WIP chat, although it's hard because I'm wearing the respirator mask. It's hard to talk, so it'll have to be I'll have to record the video and then do a voiceover, which is difficult, but I will figure it out. I am still very new to the video editing and video creation, so there's quite a learning curve, and I appreciate everybody being willing to be patient with me while I kind of find my way. I actually signed up for Skillshare, not sponsored, signed up for Skillshare so I can take some classes on creativity and organizing creativity, and they have video editing classes and stuff like that. So I need to set aside time each day to take, a class or do a section of a class so that I can start bettering my videos for you guys and hopefully make it a little easier for me. Like I said, I have PTSD, and my PTSD gives me anxiety. I am medicated. I am on Zoloft, and it has been an absolute life changer for me. But I still get overwhelmed, and when I get overwhelmed, I tend to shut down and not do anything, which is not so helpful, actually. Excuse me. not used to talking this much. Just occurred to me that Mrs. Crochet and Coffee just posted a video on square diamond placing and speeding up the process. Maybe I should go watch that too this afternoon. I was in Cal's Crafts Live this afternoon for a little bit, and I realized that the last few days I haven't been keeping up very well with videos because, you know, it's hard to watch a video. Like doing the WIP Chat videos is one thing because you're not really watching them, you're listening while you're doing your own thing. It's almost like a podcast or like talking to a friend while you work, as long as you're not trying to keep up with the chat. I am so bad at keeping up with the chat because I use the WIP Chats I use the WIP Chats or the lives right now as a time to get work done. And so I'm not watching the chat, so I feel like I'm not being particularly social, but I am getting social time because, well, there are other people and they're talking and it's exciting. Oh, speaking of exciting and other people, I'm actually going to a crafting crop, I guess you could call it, this next week. That's my excitement for the week. On Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Mom signed us up for we used to do this crop every month at a friend's church. Her father is the pastor there, and he set things up so that everybody could come in and on Friday and Saturday, come in and craft together. So it's just kind of like a get together of friends and stuff. Although one of the ladies does sell close to my heart scrapbooking supplies, but we used to go every month until COVID, just as a way to get out of the house. Like my mom and I craft together relatively often, but it's nice to see other people and talk to other people. And we haven't been probably since January of 2020 because it was so crazy. They have it on hiatus for December because church and the holidays. And after the holidays, I think we went to one in January, and my husband's aunt passed away she was sick and she passed away in early March, but she was sick all through February, and we were not wanting to make any plans because we didn't know if we would need to, run off. So I didn't plan to go to the crop, and therefore I didn't in February. And then, of course, in March, everything shut down again. And they started doing the crops again a lot sooner than I would have expected. But, they did very socially distanced, and instead of doing the potluck like they always did before for the lunch and dinner meals, it was bring your own food, and everybody kind of ate in shifts. But it's primarily older women that are there, and so everybody that's going is vaccinated, and they're still doing the social distance, and they're not doing the potluck. So Mom and I decided, well, we'll try it out, just to see. And if we're not comfortable with the level of precautions, then we don't have to go back on Friday or Saturday, but we'll check it out on Thursday. I'm excited to kind of see some of the people again. I feel so disconnected from everything before. And I know that that's pretty common. Everybody is feeling that sort of sense of disconnect. And it's going to be weird starting to go back to things that we used to do, to seeing people. Like my husband and I have dinner set up with a couple that we're friends with, and they're coming to the house, and it feels so weird to, it's going to be weird to entertain, to have people in the house that aren't us, or like we've had a few contractors in because we needed different things done over the last year. But, you know, having dinner with friends and not having masks on, and because they're vaccinated, and, you know, Dr. Fauci says that as long as everybody's vaccinated, it's okay. It's just going to be so weird, but we shall see. That whole going back to some semblance of normal is just going to take getting used to. Okay, my only complaint about this pen so far is this little floppy thing. That might be going the way of the dodo. We'll see. What else can I talk about? Oh, I went and got my hair cut for the first time in a year. The salons have been open for ages, but I haven't been comfortable going. I didn't really have them do much. I just had her clean it up because I've kind of chopped at it myself, because I was growing out a shaved side undercut pixie. And so like I started to look like I had a mullet, and that's just a part of the 90s I don't want to relive. So I kind of hacked a little bit at the back myself, but it was growing back all uneven and wonky, and it was time to get a trim. And so I got it trimmed, and my husband actually had the nerve to go, "Oh, it's different? You did something?" It's like, I love you. Why are men so oblivious to changes, small changes? Although, in all fairness, he doesn't care what I do with my hair. He's like, as long as you're happy and comfortable, I don't care what you do with your hair. He likes my hair when it's long. He likes my hair when it's short. So, you know, I'm lucky in that. I do miss my long hair, but I am never going to let it go back to long. Whenever I cut it off, this last time it was around mid-back, and I cut it off to the little bitty pixie. Time before that, whenever I cut it off, I cut it to about shoulder length, but it started out at waist length. Time before that, oh my God, I was sitting on my hair the time before that when I cut it off. It grows really fast, but my hair is so baby fine, and it's wavy, like it has texture. It's not stick straight, and so it tangles like the dickens. So whenever I let it grow out, I tend to wear it up all the time. It's either in a bun or in braids or a ponytail or something, because otherwise I can't function. So I'm never gonna grow it out like that again. It's not gonna be waist or butt length ever again. I think that that's kind of silly. It's a silly look for somebody who's in their 40s anyway, just because I've got more to do than play with my hair. But I guess my cheapy wax is starting to stop working. My hair, I don't know. I couldn't decide what I wanted to do to it, so I just had it trimmed, and I'll make that decision later. In the summer, it's so nice to have really short hair in Oklahoma, but then in the winter, because of the wind, I really want hair on the back of my neck, because otherwise I freeze. I am not a cold weather girl anymore. I used to love winter, and I still love winter as long as I can stay inside. Unfortunately, That's not an option whenever you have 3 dogs that have to be walked, and you know, you got to live your life. So it's also a lot easier to run with short hair. I miss running. Having to walk all of the dogs every day by myself, I have no time to run. I'm probably walking for an hour and a half to 2 hours most days, and upwards of 3 hours on quite a few days, just depending on what level of energy I'm dealing with. Leo, the youngest, he's 5, and he's a yellow lab, which are already higher energy than, you know, other lab mixes. So he is just a spaz butt monkey. Sometimes I'm out with him for an hour and a half all by himself, just trying to get his energy level down to bearable. And we still get home and he wants to play tug or ball, or you know, Miss Mocha, she's 9. I can take her out for a 30-minute walk and she'd be fine, but not Leo. I mean, Mocha still at 9 would happily walk as far as I'm willing to walk with her. Last night she was kind of looking at me shifty-eyed because I cut her walk a little bit short. We were only out for about 45 minutes last night. And she turned around and looked at me. I told her, okay, it's time to go home. She turned around and looked at me like, are you serious? But it's so pretty. Why would we go home? But that's dogs for you. I have always been a night owl, and so I've always liked to work out at night, and trying to get up early to run without the dogs is just an exercise in futility for me. So I stopped trying to work in running aside from dog walks. I do get Leo to run with me sometimes. He's actually a pretty good running partner, but he's very reactive, and we've tried to kind of train that out of him. If he hears loud noises, or there's another dog, or heck, even people. Like last night, there was a trio of teenage boys out walking. I'm like, they're not going to hurt you, baby. And he would not stop, like, turning around to stare at them. And there's no way you can run a dog that is refusing to pay attention to where they're going. So he and I did a lot of walking and training last night on his walk, because Saturday nights are hard for him because people are out later. Like, I take him out on Saturday nights. I wait until after 10 to take the dogs out for their walks, because it's just people are out, and especially as spring is springing, people like to stay out because it feels good and the weather is nice. And keeps attacking me. So, you know, the people are out later, and trying to take Leo out for a nice, calm walk whenever there are people everywhere is just, it's more effort than I care to expend. So I try to go out later on Saturdays, but yesterday it was just so nice that, like I said, teenagers out at, 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, and Leo was not pleased. He is the sweetest dog once he accepts that you're not going to hurt him or me, but he is so protective that he doesn't really give people the chance to prove that they're not out to hurt us. He just reacts. And I know that there are ways to train that out of a dog, but we had him in training classes to help desensitize him before the pandemic, and then the pandemic hit and they canceled all the classes. And so, yeah, he's kind of back to square one because he's had no socialization in the last year and a half. Be that as it may, I am I am proud of the progress he has made. He's gotten a lot better whenever we do have contractors and stuff into the house. He doesn't bark his head off the entire time they're there. He might bark at him a couple times, but once he's decided they're not actually here to hurt somebody, he calms down. And if we do run into people or dogs on our walks, it used to be that would ruin the rest of the walk. Like, he would be on super high alert for the rest of the walk. Now he recovers in, less than half a block, which is really, really nice for me, because his response to fear, if he can't attack it, he runs, and doesn't like run at my speed runs. He sprints, he bolts. And that's really hard to hold on to whenever your dog weighs more than half of your weight. And he has 4 feet on the ground. I've only got 2. So he can be a force of nature, my little man, but he's such a sweet boy. He's my cuddle bug. He actually jumped up in the bed this morning. He will sleep on his own out in the living room. He has his spot on the couch that he loves to sleep on. And he'll sleep out on the couch, or he'll sleep in my chair here where I normally sit, because of course it smells like mom, and I've got blankets out and it's comfortable. And so he'll sleep out here, but then in the morning he decides, I need love, and he'll come in and he'll just snuggle up, and it's just the sweetest thing. He curls up as tight as he can to me. Uh-oh, that's got a knobbly bit. That's coming out. Sometimes you can't see him. That's better. You can already see that these are fitting a lot better than these, just because of the single placing and kind of monitoring as I put them in. That's one of the things that I find is so much more satisfying about placing squares singly, is you can kind of keep track of, oh, that one is pushing that one out of whack. You can kind of see it in the tray, right? Like, you can see them whenever they're kind of bumped up against each other. If there's space in between them, one of those two probably has a little knobbly bit on it. But you can't always see it. So the light pad is nice. This lighted pen is actually, I thought that it would not be particularly helpful, and I don't need it necessarily for like seeing the canvas, just like I don't normally use a light pad to see the canvas. I have pretty good eyesight. I had LASIK, and as long as I'm not tired, I see just fine. But like, for really accurate placement, sometimes it's really nice to have just that little bit of light around where you're placing, just to kind of line things up properly. I really love this image. Whenever I saw it, I fell in love with it. It's like a little witch sitting in the moon, and she's casting magic into the dark forest, and it's just so pretty. Reminded me of like something out of Harry Potter. And I originally got it for Drills and Chills, because it, it's magic, and it's dark and kind of not spooky, but I thought it would be a good Drills and Chills canvas. And I started it, but I kind of, because I don't usually do really dark canvases, like I will probably not ever do a WIP Chat with the big dark canvas. If you guys have seen that on Instagram, I will probably never do a WIP Chat with that one, because I can't find the information from when I bought it. I think I probably bought it on Wish, and the image is probably stolen. So I will probably never do a WIP Chat with that one, because I don't know, and I don't want to run the risk. But that canvas is so dark. Like, at least this one uses 820, like in the background here, like what I'm placing right now, it uses a lot of 820 and the 939 and the 823. But that other one, it's all dark, dark, dark shades of blue and green and black. And, you know, there are little pops of like some lighter colors, but for the most part, it's just dark. And I'm looking forward to getting to the other half of it, but just getting there. And it has all the popping drills. Oh my God, all the popping drills. If it weren't a painting for my husband, I would not finish it. I must have ordered it before I realized how I felt about dark paintings. I like the colors. I like the changes in colors. And whenever you don't really have anything other than grayed out blues and greens and grays and black, it just, yeah, it doesn't, it's not fun for me. And I have to enjoy a diamond painting to want to work on it. So I've just kind of been sitting on that one, but I want to finish it for my husband for his birthday. His birthday is the 19th of May, and I think that if I just sit down and do it, you know, force myself to work on it no matter how dark it is and how much the drills pop, I think I can get it done for his birthday. I want to get it framed and put downstairs in his office space down there. We have the very, very rare and wondrous watertight basement. The water table in Oklahoma is very high, and well, when it rains here, it rains a lot all at once. And so basements tend to be very leaky if you have a basement at all here. Basements are pretty uncommon, at least in central Oklahoma. You know, maybe in some of the areas they're more common, but in central Oklahoma, they're really, really rare. Aw, little Wessie. You just got up and moved to the dog bed. Such a cutie. You can tell that he's hurting and not feeling well because he has done basically nothing but sleep since he got hurt and try to lick. The night it was so stormy here, I guess that was night before last, he actually managed to sneak out, and he was licking his wound on his hip, and it was so gross. I'm guessing that he was licking because it needed draining. They didn't put a drain in, even though it had gotten up behind. If you know anything about dogs, their skin is not really like closely attached to like their musculature like ours is. They have like a layer of water kind of under their skin. And a lot of the time, if they get hurt or if they get caught on something, it will lift that layer of skin away, and, you know, fluid builds up under there, and it can create a pocket by a wound. And so what we're guessing is that it had started to get swollen and the skin kind of started to feel tight because of fluid buildup under the skin around the wound. And he snuck away to lick at it because, you know, he's like, it hurts, it doesn't feel good, I have to fix this. You know, because to a dog, you know, the only way to heal properly is to lick it. I mean, if you've ever tried to deal with a dog that has an injury, they all want to lick it like mad. But he actually snuck out and he managed to pop. He didn't pop the stitches, but he managed to open the wound enough that it was draining, and it was so gross. I'm not going to tell you any more about it, but it was so gross. And actually, since then, it's looked a lot better. So maybe he was right, and he just needed to lick it after all. Because it was kind of pink around the wound. Not like infection pink, because he's on antibiotics. But it was pink. Like the skin was pink. I don't know. It it was weird, but that kind of pink purple color has kind of faded because of course he's a mostly black dog. His skin is darker, but that coloration has kind of faded and he seemed a lot more comfortable, but I still have to watch him because he will lick at the slightest opportunity if I'm not paying attention. But like I said, I don't want to leave him in the donut all day because you know that's not comfortable. Just if I can't watch him, I have to put it on. So like when I was working on my seahorse last night, trying to finish it up, that was a time I donutted him. I'm in no huge hurry to finish this one, and you know, I'm just chatting with you guys, so I'm not worried. I'm checking on him periodically, and he's mostly just sleeping, so he hasn't been inclined to lick, so he's easy to keep an eye on when he's sleeping. I much prefer when he's up in the chair with me though, because I'm right here. If he tries to lick, it's basically impossible to miss. Excuse me. I know I slept enough. I only had 1 cup of coffee today though, because I'm kind of afraid that I've been having so much caffeine that is what's keeping me up as late as I've been staying up. Like I've been staying up until 5 o'clock in the morning. And while I am a night owl, I'm not usually that much of a night owl. But my mom, bless her soul, brought me a Starbucks iced coffee last night around dinner time, and I couldn't not drink it. I mean, she brought it to me. It would be rude to not drink the coffee she brought me. So I had caffeine a little bit later than I normally would last night. So I'm going to blame that for last night. I used to be way more sensitive to caffeine than I am. And if I had had coffee at, 6 o'clock on a Saturday night, I wouldn't go to bed until Sunday evening sometime, because it was just that, it would just keep me that awake. So see, I don't even know if you can see this right here. It's like that black, that 939 right there is not big enough to fill the space. It's like the 939s are so uneven in size. I don't know. I think it'll turn out just fine. And probably once I turn off the light box underneath it, nobody would know any different. You know how that works, that, you can always see the spaces whenever you have a light box on underneath it. But as soon as you turn it off, you won't necessarily see them. Okay, so there's 820. Let's see, what's next? What symbol should I do next? Let's do the hearts, because there are not very many of those. I think that's the 310. It is. And actually, I don't even think I'm going to, well, I think I do, because there are not very many of these, but there's enough still in that bin that I can't just easily pick them out of the bin. Yeah, I'm always kind of amazed. 939, there's not much of a difference between 939 and 310. It's there, but like, you have to really be looking for it. 939 is such a deep dark blue. Get in there. Thank you. There's that pop of placing a square drill. That satisfaction level. Okay, are there any more hearts? I don't see any. Do you guys see any? I don't see any. So with the seahorse, I tried out the little tray stacker storage things that were in my unboxing video, because that canvas, it turned out beautifully, but it was so confetti heavy. I tried out the stacker, and it was a lifesaver. I'm going to be honest, with the amount of confetti in that canvas, being able to just pull out the first 24 colors, and like if I missed one, because I almost invariably miss at least one drill whenever I put away a color. So being able to just pull out that tray a little bit and get, you know, the one or two that I need without having to switch out colors in a tray, that was so nice. Now I see why people like stuff like that. I don't know. Michael, my husband, at one point printed me out some 3D printed ones to fit the Mosfa boats. So I will probably use those more often. But the foam ones that I got on Amazon, I mean, they worked just fine. That one has got a big old knobbly bit. But then again, I tend to choose canvases that don't have a huge amount of confetti. I mean, I also don't work in big sections. So, you know, back whenever I first started diamond painting, I'd color complete. And that was an interesting task. But whenever you color complete, you don't really have to worry about confetti either, because you're dealing with one color at a time. But it's also really easy to miss one or two symbols in a color, and then you have to go back and, you know, fill up a little tray and fill in those spots that you missed. I'm just a little off square. There we go. There's that 939 being skinny again. Oh well. Hopefully I'm not getting my head in the way of you guys. I have this flat. Normally, whenever I'm sitting here, I have it at an angle, but I don't know how well that angle would work for you guys to see. So I got this little table at Target, and I have to admit that it is probably the best $25 that I've spent for diamond painting ever. Because I was working on a little flat table. I had a little folding flat table, about the same size table, to be honest, but being able to adjust the height of this and then adjust the tilt is just so nice. And I think this is I think they call it a laptop table or something like that. But it's just so nice to be able to angle it while I'm working. I can sit in all sorts of comfortable positions. Like right now, I'm not sitting cross-legged, but I have been. I actually moved my legs. But sitting in this chair, this chair is not so much a chair as it is a love seat. I could fit 3 of me across in this, but whenever the dogs want to snuggle in the chair, you know, they're not small and they take up a lot of space. So, you know, all 3 dogs and I fit in this chair. It's a tight fit, but we fit in the chair, and of course it's got the big ottoman. So that's, I think, the only way we can do it. Without the ottoman, it's just not quite enough chair for all of us. We've actually had every inside mammal on this chair before. So me, my husband, Inara, and all 3 dogs in this chair. It's pretty funny. I mean, we were all kind of on top of each other, but that's the fun of it. My voice is starting to get tired. I'm going to take a drink of my now ice cold coffee. You know, it's funny. just occurred to me, I was complaining about not having a cover minder. All of my cover minders are up on the arm of my little thing. Let's see, which is a good option for this canvas. Maybe we'll just go with the little flower. These have the tiniest little magnets on them, but they're so strong. Here we go. Now we have a pretty flower. Okay, back to working. So how is everybody doing? Do you have any plans for this week? Anything exciting coming up? Like I said, I'm getting together with friends, and then my mom and I are doing the crop at the weekend. I'm actually probably going to take diamond paintings. I have not been inclined to work on any paper crafts. I have some kits that I think they're really pretty, but I'm also, I don't know, there's so many accoutrements that go along with the paper crafting that I would have to drag along with me, whereas for diamond painting, it's just what you see. It's the pens and the diamonds and the canvas. Oh, my husband is coming up. I'm going to go ahead and pause this. And hello, I'm back again. Sorry about that. My husband came upstairs and I kept diamond painting while I was talking to him, and I finished that section and got started on the next one. Sorry about that. I have no idea where we were, and I do not want to go back and listen to the video yet, so we'll just kind of start over again. I don't know. I kind of started at the end of the list, and I'm working my way back this time rather than doing it like by the brightest color, just because why not? Not exactly in order. I did the pretty color. Well, they're not that pretty color yet, but it's nice to do something that's not a blue after a section of blue. There's a lot of just blue here, and that, it gets old. It gets old. I love blue. It's my favorite color, but it does get old. All right, I think I am on the number sign / hashtag symbol, so that's 3799, which is oddly enough not blue, it's gray. So I chatted with my husband, we watched some sciencey YouTube videos together, we had dinner, we hung out with the dogs. The dogs have now had dinner, so Michael has gone back downstairs to do some work meetings. Ring alert. Apparently there are break-ins going on in our neighborhood. Fun. Not actually our neighborhood. They call our neighborhood, and Ring is basically our entire city, which is kind of funny. I don't know why it's that way. I wish I could narrow it down, but that's all right. Our actual neighborhood is really safe, and one of the main reasons I was willing to move back to Oklahoma is because my parents are still in this neighborhood, and this neighborhood is still one of the best ones in town. Just the neighbors tend to be good, and there's less crime than in some other parts of the city. And I mean, don't get me wrong, Oklahoma has its, rough parts of town, but compared to living in San Jose where we were before this, yeah, no. Like, in San Jose, there is no effing way I would have taken the dogs out at midnight by myself. And I do it here all the time. So, all right, we're on to this side. Let's see, N. Do I have any N on here? New plus sign. There's exactly one plus sign. Up, there's some more hashtags I missed. Dang it. And this is why you keep your drills close by, ladies and gentlemen. You always miss a couple. That is one thing using the little trays in the little organizer on that last one with all the confetti was so nice, because if you missed one, you didn't have to like pour them out into another tray or something. You could just grab it and put that one down. It was part of the organization, which is really, really nice. All right, so that would be 945, which is the last color in this box. This was the first diamond painting that I kitted up in Harbor Freight. And so I've had 2 Harbor Freight boxes holding drills since Drills and Chills, which is kind of funny to me. But my husband is very, very sweet, and he went to Harbor Freight one day and he saw that there were a ton of them on the shelf, and he goes, "Hey, do you want me to get you some more of these?" And I said, "Oh yeah, definitely." He goes, "How many more?" I'm like, "Well, how many do they have?" And so he got me 9 Harbor Freights. I gave some to my friend, some to my mom, but I've still got, with the 2 that I have here, I've still got 5 empty ones, unless I'm kitted up for some other project, but I just unkitted or kitted down one of my other projects, the stained glass owl that I finished and posted on Instagram. Oh God, that was 2 projects ago out here in the living room now, with the seahorse between. Yeah, I've got a lot of Harbor Freight. I've also got a bunch of those itty bitty storage things that they give you. I'm actually thinking about doing a gasp giveaway. I was shocked to see that my subscriber count has gotten up to, the last time I looked, it was 77 subscribers. I'm thinking whenever I hit 100 subscribers, I'm going to do some form of giveaway, and I will probably announce that in a video here and on Instagram, just to say, hey, thank you for listening to me, because I still feel like I'm just kind of rambling and don't have a whole lot to offer, but I appreciate everybody's subscription and support and comments. It's really fun to get comments. I actually got a comment today on one of my earlier videos saying that my craft room tour and cleanup had been recommended, like suggested by YouTube to her. So I was like, oh my gosh, that is so cool. So apparently the algorithm doesn't hate me yet, which is kind of cool. I figure it always winds up hating everybody at some point. I'm not gonna hold my breath that it'll continue being okay with me. But yeah, that's pretty neat. On that note though, if you are new and this is your first time watching a video by The Wayward Gypsy, hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up. Every single comment I will respond to, because it's all just so new and exciting and fun. And you know, I'm trying to kind of foster a sense of community, and that involves, you know, being in close contact with everybody. So that was a very small amount of 939 for this section. It must be well illuminated. I have to admit, I like 939. I like 939 more than 823. For some reason, 823 just looks dusty to me. Like it's dirty. Does anybody else feel that way? Especially whenever you look at the difference between like 823 and 820. Like that difference is just crazy. Like it looks dirty or dusty. Oh well. Let's see. Are there any 921s? What is the symbol here? X. There's one X. Are there any other X's? I don't think so. I think just pulling this out, and ooh, it's almost like a sepia color. Or an umber, burnt umber. Oh, goodness. All right, so we are on to 8 through 3, which is our weird sort of, it's that little symbol. It looks like 4 little squares together alternating. It means 820 is the bulk of this section. Cool. But yeah, I am surprised I have any subscribers at all. I am grateful for every comment and every like and all of that. And I know that I already said that, but it's just still a new thing for me. You know, it has been an interesting learning curve, creating videos and figuring out like good angles and stuff. And since I am, as I heard Rachel Ray say today in her floss tube, multi-craftual, I do lots of crafts. I don't just diamond paint. I do paper arts, and I do resin work, and I knit, and I crochet, and I cross stitch, and that's on top of all of the just general crafting that I do. I don't always sit down and work on one thing for an extended period of time. I get burned out really easily when I do that. I think that's why I spent most of the first part of this year not diamond painting, because I did so many diamond paintings between drills and chills and trying to get stuff done for Christmas. And, you know, since, you know, diamond painting has kind of taken over my life in the last year, it was the big thing that I was doing for everybody for Christmas presents. And yeah, that was just, I overloaded myself. I don't think I will do that again. You know, making little keychains and cards and stuff for family and friends and stuff, that's one thing. But doing actual diamond paintings and gifting those, yeah, probably not. Unless I'm trying to get them into diamond painting, in which I'll just send them a kit. I don't have to do a whole lot of work for that. But anyway, I know that this is actually getting pretty long. I did peek at the video earlier, and apparently I just yammered on, so I don't want to keep everybody. I just didn't want to end the video on a I'll be right back and then not be right back. So I am probably going to keep on working on this evening and finish this section. I will post my progress on Instagram. I will put the link to that down in the description box below if you want to follow me. I would appreciate it. I have a lot of fun posting over there, and I post stuff not just about diamond painting. I will post anything I'm working on, as well as my dogs. So you might see backyard projects or the dogs or whatever my husband and I are out and about doing. So heck, I even post my dinner sometimes, especially if it's particularly photogenic. But I hope you all have a wonderful week. It is late Sunday night here, and tomorrow is Monday. So have a wonderful week, and I will talk to y'all soon. Bye.